Hello and welcome to this tutorial video where we're going to talk about indigestion and how we treat it and the chemistry behind it. So we're going to apply some of the chemistry that we've already done in previous videos to this very common problem. So first off, what actually is indigestion? So what we've got to imagine is we've got to imagine a stomach. Okay, so here is my wonderful drawing of a stomach. Okay. Now stomachs have two little sort of seals to them. Okay, now they're like little gateways. They'll let things in and out at certain times. They're called sphincters. There's one at the top and one at the bottom. Now the reason that the stomach has this is because the stomach is a very specialised organ. Now the two specialisations that I'm going to talk about are two types of cell. The first is a type of cell that what it does is it secretes or releases, okay, hydrochloric acid into the stomach. Yes, your stomach, okay, contains a strong acid. And that strong acid is hydrochloric acid. Now, you know that hydrochloric acid, if it's strong and concentrated, is really, really corrosive. Yet it doesn't just fall out of your body or burn your stomach. Now, the reason for that is because your stomach has a second set of cells that are specialised to protect it from that acid. Okay, so it's got this protective layer all around, okay, the lining of the stomach. So the inside of this stomach has this protective sort of mucal layer, okay, that protects it from that acid. Now, indigestion is when the acid from the stomach gets out of these sphincters here. And there is excess acid. So what indigestion is when there is excess acid. Now what does the word excess mean? Well, the word excess means too much. So when there's too much acid, that acid can be exposed to the cells that don't have this protective layer, so it burns. Okay, so indigestion is where that sort of happens, and you can also get things like heartburn. This particular one where it comes up top is called acid reflux. Okay, but indigestion is just when there's too much acid, okay, in the stomach, and it's very discomforting. So we can use chemistry to treat this. So here's a question for you straight away. Okay, I've got too much acid in this stomach. What could I add to the stomach to remove some of that acid, and what would that process be called? So have a quick think about that. So what could I add to that stomach to get rid of some of that acid and sort of cool everything that's going down, get rid of some of that discomfort? So pause the video, have a think, then unpause it and see if you're right. Okay, so you have a think about it. So what is it we can add? I hope you've all thought we can add a base. Okay, so if we added a base to this, what kind of reaction is going to occur? Well, it's going to be a neutralization reaction. So what we can do is we can add a base, okay? Basically we can ingest a base. That base can then go into the stomach, and what it can do is it can neutralize this excess acid. So let's talk about the chemistry of it. Okay, so let's talk about the chemistry of this. Right, in the stomach we have lots of hydrochloric acid. So remember, I said the word excess. So what we've got in the stomach is we've got excess hydrochloric acid. Now, the reason I call it excess is because the stomach is supposed to be acidic. So what we're doing when we're treating indigestion is we're not making the stomach neutral. Okay, we're making the stomach less acidic, because you want it to be acidic so that it can do its job. Okay, so what we do is we add, okay, a base to that. Now, a very common base that is used is called magnesium hydroxide. So what will happen is the excess acid will be neutralized by the magnesium hydroxide to form salt and water. Okay, so we know water is made, but we also know that a salt is made. Now I'm going to talk about naming salts in another video, but this salt is going to be called magnesium chloride. Okay, so this is the reaction that happens. This is the chemistry that happens. What does this mean for the stomach? So our stomach, to start with, in this example, has got too much acid in it. Far too much acid in it. Now, you might be asked the question, okay, well, how can you actually get too much acid in the stomach? Well, two main ways: eating too much and eating too quickly. You can just overproduce the acid in your stomach. So what we then do is we then take a couple of tablets. Okay, loads of brands, various different ones, but those tablets, okay, they will be a base. Okay, something like magnesium hydroxide. We add those to our stomach. Just by eating them, they'll then go down our esophagus into the stomach. When they get into the stomach, what's going to happen is we're going to end up with a reaction. Okay, so there's going to be a reaction. Not quite an explosive reaction, like the drawing suggests, but we're going to end up with a reaction between the acid in the stomach and the base that's gone down. Okay, this is a neutralization reaction. Now that we've added a little bit of base, that neutralization reaction is going to occur. We're going to end up with magnesium chloride and water being produced, okay, and we're going to end up with this excess hydrochloric acid disappearing. And it's just going to turn into magnesium chloride and water, which is neutral. So what that means is it means that essentially the pH of the stomach will increase ever so slightly. It will become slightly less acidic. Now, over time, what that will then mean is that this substance can pass out, okay, and the cells that produce the hydrochloric acid will continue to produce some hydrochloric acid into the stomach, because that's what their job is. And what you'll end up with is you'll end up with your stomach returning to what it should be. Okay, whereby you'll have the expected amount of acid within your stomach, okay, ready for your next meal. Okay, and now these cells are now protected and can recover from any damage that might have been done. Same down the bottom here. Okay, now you can look into more things as to why does this acid then not go and burn this part of the intestines? Well, what happens there is another neutralization reaction occurs. There are chemicals in here that neutralize the acid as it comes out of the stomach. Okay, so that's how indigestion tablets work. We've applied the chemistry from our neutralization to this problem. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit of background as to how that works and how we can actually apply some of the chemistry that you're learning about. So, thank you very much for watching. As always, please like and subscribe to these videos and check out some of my other videos for more chemistry tuition. Okay? So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.